Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. In today's McDojo news, we're going to talk about how a man in Kentucky thought it was a good idea to pull out martial arts weapons against his coworker and was arrested for it. Let's check out the story. A Kentucky man was arrested after using a katana-type sword and a three-pronged martial arts weapon during multiple altercations with a coworker, according to the Owensboro Police Department. Reports show the suspect followed the victim to multiple locations. According to a release, patrol officers began an investigation shortly after noon on September 5th regarding an assault near West 4th and Castellan Street. The investigation led officers to multiple locations where several altercations took place between two coworkers per the release. Detectives with the Criminal Investigations Division assisted in piecing together the sequences of events. Detectives learned that the disturbance between the co-workers started at their employment, the release says. Video evidence shows Charles Salee, age 56, approaching the victim and starting a physical altercation inside one of the buildings. Salee is then seen following the victim outside and confronts him again before striking the victim from behind, the release says. The victim again defended himself before they were separated by their co-workers. Salee confronts the victim again in the roadway in front of their employment, and this time he produces a katana-type sword that he retrieved from his vehicle. The victim again defended himself before they were separated by their co-workers. According to the arrest citation, Salee told detectives, quote, he was being called names and he was tired of it. The citation says Salee admitted he grabbed his sword and, quote, tried and wanted to hit the other person. According to the release, shortly after the parking lot altercation, the victim went to Super A Food Mart, where he was again confronted by Salee. This time, Salee produces a sai, which is a three-pronged martial arts weapon. After the altercation, OPD became involved and determined that Charles Salee was the aggressor, according to the release. Officials said Salee was taken to Owensboro Health Regional Hospital for medical treatment for minor injuries he sustained from the altercation and has since been arrested and lodged at Daviess County Detention Center on charges of first-degree wanted endangerment and first-degree stalking. Let's unpack that. So this guy, Salee, apparently was at work, and while he was at work, one of his co-workers was either picking on him or calling him names. He gets tired of the name-calling, so he winds up attacking the co-worker. This, of course, spills into the parking lot, which is broken up once again, but then he wasn't done. He decides to go to his car and pull out a katana and attack the man again, which is also broken up by his coworkers again. But apparently he wasn't done yet. He decided to act like Raphael from the Ninja Turtles, grab a sai, follow the guy to a supermarket, and attack him there. To be honest, the craziest part out of all of this was, even though he had the weapons, he was the one that apparently was being treated for injuries. Clearly, you shouldn't just heckle people at work. That's not professional and it's very rude, but that's why you have HR if you're the other guy. You also have bosses. You can go to those bosses and let them know about complaints that you have about other employees. If you like martial arts weapons, like katanas and sais and nunchucks and all that good stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. What makes you kind of weird is when you just start carrying around those particular martial arts weapons in public. Like you think that you have ninja stars or nunchucks on you at all times, or a sai. That's a little weird. Nobody's going to sit by you on the public bus. This brings us to the question of the day. The question of the day is brought to you by X-Marshall. Be sure to answer the question of the day in the comment sections below, so that way you could be entered for a chance to win a $100 gift voucher that you could redeem at xmarshall.com. And hey, maybe you don't win, that's okay. You could still use promo code McDojo10 to get 10% off any of your purchases at xmarshall.com. Since we're on the subject of martial arts weapons, out of all the traditional Ninja Turtles weapons, which one do you think is the best? We're talking the katana, the bow, the sword, or the nunchucks. Which is your personal favorite, just for giggles? Since this is kind of a ridiculous story in itself, I want to hear your answers. As always, thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, memberships. Check out McDojoLife.com. Keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerates. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this dude said he could move shit with his mind. He called himself Seafood Paul Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip mall near Cinnabon. Now she spends all day trying to